Thank God we have Robert Mueller protecting us from international criminals, right? Not really. Robert Mueller's latest groundbreaking indictment had nothing to do with Trump, nothing to do with Russia, nothing to do with Trump-Russia collusion, nothing to do with the Trump campaign, nothing to do with anything surrounding politics or elections in the United States at all. So what in the world is Mueller doing? Well, Mueller just indicted a guy named Alex van der Zwaan, who was an attorney. He was an attorney at the time with Skadden Arps, a very high-end law firm. And they were doing some work with the Ukrainian Ministry of Justice, who was they had on trial a Ukrainian politician named Yulia Tymoshenko. Skadden Arps, it appears from what we're reading, was tasked with preparing some trial or pretrial reports. Also represented by van der Zwaan was Rick Gates, Paul Manafort's partner, and presumably Paul Manafort. No big deal. Skadden Arps is a large international high-end law firm. They have clients all over the world, thousands and thousands of clients. Not unusual that people doing business in the Ukraine, a business that involved millions upon millions of dollars, would hire a firm with the resources of Skadden Arps. So nothing unusual here whatsoever. Mueller, however, likes to find a crime in a dish of ice cream. So he goes and he interviews this guy. And I'm reading the charging document in front of me. Now, understand, this is all about twisting arms. Because no one has ever worked in the criminal justice system, no one who understands what's going on here with this bogus Mueller investigation wants American taxpayer money wasted on the indictment of a Dutch national who lives in London. Now, the other reason they're going after this guy is that his father-in-law is a very wealthy Russian oligarch who's very close to Vladimir Putin. But that's not even an element of the indictment. That those people, the father-in-law, Putin, Russians, aren't even referred to here. This is solely about twisting arms on the Manafort and Gates matter. And they want Manafort to take a plea because we spoke about this a couple of shows ago, how Manafort's got the money to fight them. And Mueller's cases are hanging on by a thread because of the allegations that he is not disclosing exculpatory evidence to the defense, and that being supported by a change in judge to Judge Emmett Sullivan, who's known for being a guy who calls the DOJ to task for doing exactly that, or withholding exculpatory evidence. But things aren't looking very good for Mueller, despite the cover being given to him by the mainstream media. So let's read the charging document here. In the charging document, they say things like, his last communication with Richard, talking about this lawyer, Alex van der Zwaan, his last communication with Richard Gates was in mid-August 2016, which consisted of an innocuous text message. And his last communication with Person A, we don't know who that is, was in 2014, when van der Zwaan and Person A discussed Person A's family friend. That's actually a paragraph. That's actually a paragraph in a charging instrument by a special counsel who reports to the United States Department of Justice. That's an element that was used to indict this man, that he spoke to a client, Rick Gates, via an innocuous text message, and then he spoke to another person about that person's family, not a family friend, I'm sorry, spoke to that person about that person's family, like, how are your kids doing? How's your son's soccer game going? That apparently is enough for Robert Mueller to launch a criminal investigation. I mean, I feel like I live in the Twilight Zone. They then go on to say, now understand, you're a lawyer at a firm like Skadden Arps. You're this guy van der Zwaan, high net worth guy. You've got international high profile clients. A special counsel in the United States knocks on your door and says, I want you to produce all this to me. And he goes to comply. Well, the second point, one of the other points in the charging instrument, he did not know why an email between him and Person A in September 2016 was not produced to the special counsel's office. And it says, when in fact, oh, I'm sorry, that's from the previous paragraph. The way they wrote this is, but yeah, he did not know why an email between him and Person A in September 2016 was not produced to the special counsel's office. Now, I would assume this very high net worth attorney at Skadden Arps, who's representing very, very wealthy international clients, probably wasn't acting as his own lawyer. I'm guessing he had a team of attorneys handling these discovery requests for him, or the requests for information, the subpoenas if they were issued by the special counsel. So an email was not produced. Stop the presses. Lock this guy up. Throw him in Supermax, 30 feet underground. Treat him like a Taliban terrorist, right? I mean, that's how Mueller's thinking here. In or about September 16th. Oh, what they're saying is, so those are the two things that he's claiming he talked about. They're saying, the special counsel then says, when in fact, as he then and there well knew and believed. And the special counsel now, Mueller's office is very good at assuming what people believe. When General Flynn said, I don't recall, Mueller's office said, yes, you do. We're going to indict you on the process crime of lying to us because we believe you could recall and you're saying you couldn't recall. It is bizarre to me. I've never seen anything like this in my entire career. So when in fact, as he then and there knew well and believed, in or about September 16th, he spoke with Gates and Person A regarding the report and surreptitiously recorded the calls, and he deleted and otherwise did not produce emails sought by the special counsel's office and law firm A, including the email between Person A and him in September 2016. Now, they are assuming that the guy interpreted the calls the way they did. They are also assuming that he didn't delete that email way back then. As an attorney, it would be privileged communication, and he would never think that some overzealous prosecutor from the U.S. was coming to grab the guy up, coming to grab him up. But this is all about arm twisting. No American cares about these bogus charges. It's all about arm twisting. And I'm going to tell you whose arms are being twisted and what I think the end result, well, Mueller's desired end result is, on my longer show, Off the Cuff Declassified. If you like this really important content, and this stuff is getting very interesting because the way Mueller is, I think, improperly handling it, I want to keep bringing it to you every day. So please subscribe to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very, very much. Don't forget to go to the App Store, your App Store, download the Rebel app. It's the greatest, most efficient way to get all of our awesome content. And over the next couple of days, I'm going to be doing the show from the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, in Washington, D.C. You got to be sure to tune in. You're going to love it. It's going to be great guests, really interesting interviews. I will be back with you tomorrow from Washington, D.C. Thanks for watching.